Are you ready to secure the border? Are you ready for the biggest deportation operation you've ever seen?
That's Trump New Borders Czar saying he's gonna launch the biggest mass deportation in the US history, and people are starting to self-deport. Let's watch.
Donald Trump's mass deportation plans are set to begin in major cities, but could face immediate backlash. Just last night, a San Diego county voted to deny aid to federal immigration enforcement. But News Nation is now confirming some migrants are starting to leave on their own, attempting to self-deport ahead of the second Trump presidency. And in the past few years, the U.S. has seen the largest immigration surge in American history, with an annual average of close to 2.5 million people, and that's just from 2021 to 2023.
That's a lot of people, if you ask me. If Donald Trump and Tom Homan, Trump's New Borders, wants to deport everybody, it's probably gonna take a couple of years. They only have 4 years of Trump presidency, so he's gonna have to deport millions of people every single year if he wants to deport all illegals out of the United States. I'm not sure if that's possible at all. We will see.
Station's Ali Bradley is live for us in Del Rio, Texas, with this exclusive. So, Ali, what more are you learning about these apparent self-deportations?
Yeah, so what we're learning here, Nicole, is that migrants who are going through their asylum proceedings are actually cutting things short on their own, and they're finding ports of entry and they're trying to leave ahead of the possibility of Trump removing them. So migrants are actually finding Border Patrol agents or CBP officers, and they're asking them if they can leave. Here's the deal, though. Because those migrants are in actual legitimate proceedings, DHS really has no bearing here. They're in the court's hands right now. So all CBP can do is advise that they walk back to Mexico through a port of entry. They have that legal right to do that. Now, one man from Venezuela told agents that he was trying to get out before Trump gets in, and says that he heard there was an agreement with Mexico and Venezuela where they are actually helping to get people back to their home country. Now, Venezuela.
This is funny. People are just walking back by themselves because they don't want to deal with Trump's administration and his mass deportation program. They'd rather go back because they have no hope in the United States now. That's probably for the best, honestly.
Venezuela has not taken deportation flights back from the United States for nearly a year. Mexico does have a better working relationship with Maduro, and that might be a possibility for this young man. Now, we called the migrant stepfather in Pennsylvania, who confirmed that the migrant went back to Mexico to continue his journey to Venezuela. Interesting here, though, because they are in proceedings already, they are not self-deporting, they are self-departing. However, an immigration attorney that we talked to says that move is essentially the same thing, and they essentially issue a deportation order against themselves when they do this, and they likely will have issues coming back in if they have a valid hearing. Take a listen.
They are probably not going to be able to get back in to reapply or to start the process over. It's in many of these, asylum included, you kind of get one chance.
Yeah, especially under the Trump administration, and what Tom Homan wants to do by securing the border, he's probably not gonna let anybody in. Honestly, if you want to go back in, you're probably gonna have to do it through the legal process and get a visa, and it's probably not possible for that many people. Honestly, I'm not sure if they actually can go through the asylum. That's kind of a very difficult word for me to pronounce. Asylum process once again, probably not.
And if you give up halfway through, you don't get to come back and ask for asylum again. You'll be put into a different type of proceeding and you won't have asylum available to you.
Okay, so of course this comes as President-elect Trump is promising those mass deportations come day one. So something we'll certainly be watching for. But many of the migrants that we're talking to here, Nicole, say they are worried, they are concerned of the threat of being deported, but they are also convinced that President-elect Trump is going to go after the criminals and the people that have a final order of removal first. However, remember, Border Czar Tom Homan said no one is safe because crossing the border illegally is a crime in itself. Nicole?
So, Ali, do immigration officials think that this self-deporting will potentially become more prevalent?
Yeah, we would think that we would be seeing it all over the place because they would potentially get kind of a ding on their record in the future if they were deported under Trump. But what's interesting here is that immigration attorney that we talked with, she says that she doesn't believe it will be a trend, but rather migrants will move within the United States into kind of sanctuary counties like San Diego.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think Tom Homan is very serious about sending the illegal immigrants out, and there will not be any sanctuary city at all. If he receives the funding that he needs to basically employ all the ICE agents that he needs to search the illegal immigrants, they're probably not safe in sanctuary city either, honestly.
Or regions where they feel like they're going to be able to be more protected. She said the idea of them self-deporting is not something that we will likely see a lot of because they do end all of their opportunities within the U.S. when they do that, Nicole. And of course, they're watching the news too, and they're learning right along with us, Nicole.
All right, Allie Bradley live for us there in Del Rio. Thanks for watching.
Let's see what Tom Homan actually has to say about that one. If he is actually gonna go back to the sanctuary city and take them out, and that's probably gonna be the case, honestly, if you ask me. Let's watch.
Now, let me make it clear. The governor says I don't have the authority to do that. Well, no shit. I'm not a U.S. attorney, but U.S. attorney certainly does. And we will ask for prosecution. We will not let you prevent us from saving the American communities from illegal alien crime. It's not going to happen. We're going, we're coming. So even though I say we're going to prioritize criminal threats and national security threats out of the gate, that's a fact. However, when sanctuary cities won't let us into the jail to arrest the bad guy in the safety and security of that county jail, which means they're going to release that criminal back into the immigrant community, which puts the immigrant community at risk of crime. It puts our officers at great risk. Rather than arresting a guy in the safety and security of a county jail where he don't have weapons, now we got to go to the community, find him. We have access to who knows what weapons. You're putting the community at risk. You're putting officers at risk. You're putting the alien at risk. And I'm going to give you exactly what you don't want. You don't want us in jail? All right, so I'll send a whole bunch of agents into your community, and we'll find the bad guy. And when we find the bad guy, he's probably going to be with others that aren't a priority apprehension. But guess what? They're getting arrested too. So you're going to get exactly what you don't want, more arrests in your communities. I don't want to do that. I'd much rather be safe for the agents to arrest the guy in the county jail, but they don't let us in. Fine. You're not going to stop us. We'll go to the community, and we will find him.
That's it. That's it. So he's 100% serious about taking people out of the sanctuary city, out of the American communities, and making the Americans safer and neutralizing everybody and sending them back home. People are saying the US cannot support the entire globe's poor. It's not sustainable. Yes, I agree. I agree. A country without borders is not a country. Closing the shelters, cutting off the benefit, aided their decision. Yes, the smart ones are leaving, taking any equity they gain with them. Yes, they will go back with nothing. Simply cut off the $5 a month freebies, and yes, they will go home. Port of entry is now port of exit. Good, they say there are tens of thousands of people who try to come to USA legally and the system is overwhelmed. I agree, I think the legal way should be the way to go, and the legal way should be facilitated, honestly, in my opinion, because we need high-skilled workers everywhere, especially in the largest economy in the world. Things must have not been too bad if they are willing to live on their own. Yeah, I agree that the conditions are getting worse and worse for immigrants in the United States, honestly. And it's sad to see. Hopefully, it will get better. Thanks for watching and staying with me. I really appreciate you being here. As always, click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there. Bye-bye for now. Peace.